Hello, all. I am your host, Roddimus Prime. It is Tuesday, May 24th, 2022, and I hope you all are doing extremely well. Today, I have the unenviable task of reviewing Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, the recent remake movie that went straight to Disney Plus. So sit back, relax, and get the popcorn bags ready as I give my review of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Our movie opens up as we see our title characters when they were younger as they meet each other for the first time. This movie asks that we suspend our disbelief. But how are we to do that when the animation in this movie is so laughably unbelievable? It is so bad that it reminds me of the 1963 Godzilla vs. Kong movie and the blue screen that was used during that movie. We then see a montage dedicated to the rise of the Rescue Rangers and the introduction of Monterey Jack, Gadget, and Zipper. One of the only good parts of this movie is seeing the rise, as you get the only good piece of nostalgia in this movie when they do an homage to the original show. One thing kids movies try to do way too much nowadays is making kids movies for the adult generation, and remakes are notorious for that, and this one is no different. We then see Chip and Dale separate as Dale wants to explore a solo show and Chip wants to keep the group together. I love seeing characters from my childhood, but not the realistic downfall with all the bad bits thrown in. At times this movie made me depressed. Not the good kind of depressed, like after watching Old Yeller and they had to put him down because it was the right thing to do when he had rabies. No, I'm talking the bad kind of depressed. The one where you sit in the bathroom for 6 hours with a bottle of liquor and you contemplate the life decisions you have made. They spatter throughout this movie running gags and cameos so much that the shock and laughter turns to rage and disgust very quickly. I can understand the sake of a cameo for a bit of nostalgia, but this movie took every possible franchise it could and threw it at the wall and said, let's put it in the movie. This is definitely a case of less is more, and this movie definitely should have been less of everything. I understand that John Mulaney and Andy Samberg are very talented SNL alums, but they should stick to what they do best. And that is ruining people's Saturday nights, not people's childhoods. We then see the plot play out as the title characters are noticing that other cartoons are disappearing after an auspicious meeting with their pal Monterey Jack. They then return to Monty later in the movie only to find out that he is missing and presumably been taken. At this point in the movie, we are introduced to the human sidekick in these movies that is brought in for comic relief and is a huge fan of the supposed franchise, but whose acting comes off as sporadic and unbelievable. Chip and Dale then seek out our main villain of this story, an adultified Peter Pan. I definitely didn't need to see Peter Pan go through puberty, depression, and then a horrible villain backstory, but that's what this movie does best. It takes all your childhood characters and turns them into the sad, depressing adult stereotype that we didn't need to see. It is revealed that Peter Pan is making bootleg movies and using pieces of other cartoons' bodies to do so. One of the things I've been seeing online is that this is a worthy successor to Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The problem with that statement is that Who Framed Roger Rabbit was actually entertaining. The only thought I'm entertaining is that this movie belongs on the lonely island where Andy Samberg got the name of his band from. Throughout the next hour, our heroes seek out old friends to stop Peter Pan from making more bootleg movies. I found myself getting more angry and more frustrated the more I had to sit through this movie. We then come to a scene where Dale is trying to rescue Chip and seeks out some old friends, and it is at this point in the movie that I shrieked in horror and screamed in anger. Now, to give you my actual anger about this, now see, I got a script written out here that I've been reading off of, as I go along. But to actually give you how visibly pissed off I was, and I'm sorry for using language at that point in time, I'll go ahead and bleep that out. But to give you an understanding of how mad I was, I grew up watching Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. This was a movie not a movie, a TV show that I was a massive fan of. I would get up, I would watch it every day, and I would enjoy it very much. So when they made this movie and I saw the trailer, I got mad because I knew it was going to be terrible. The problem is they do this whole premise / idea that Zipper and Gadget were in love, okay? Now, I get that, and I understand that, but at no point in the original show was this actually a thing. And even more so, look what they did. Look what they did. What is that? What the heck is that? Why, oh why, do we need to have them have kids? That is an image that will haunt my dreams, and the person responsible for that atrocity needs to be fired. They then head off to rescue Chip from the clutches of Peter Pan, and it turns into a chase sequence with a final showdown included. The next 20 minutes, they took every chance they got to throw in every property possible to really send it home that they had no idea how to write this movie and that cameos do not equal story structure. In the end, our heroes come out on top, and the best part of this movie is played, the credits. I'm going to quote Miss Tyra Banks. "Your performance was so laughably bad that I would give it a 0, but because I can't, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. There are other things that you could be doing for an hour and a half that would be less painful than ever watching this movie." But alright, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching the video. As always, these are my opinions and my thoughts. You don't have to agree with them, but I appreciate you sitting through the entirety of the video. If you could do me a favor and please like the video and subscribe, I would really appreciate it, and I will see you all tomorrow.